Hi, I'm Sasha.
And I'm Serafina.
And welcome back to our SNS podcast.
Today's guest is Coach Clint Hurdle.
Coach Hurdle is the current bench and hitting coach for the Colorado Rockies.
As a player, he was selected 9th overall to the Kansas City Royals in the 1975 MLB draft and played 10 seasons.
As a manager, he led the Colorado Rockies to the World Series and also managed the Pittsburgh Pirates to 3 straight playoff appearances.
In 2013, he was named the MLB Manager of the Year.
Now let's get on to it! What was it like being drafted in the first round of the MLB draft as a teenager?
Ooh, that was so long ago. You got to give me a second to remember. That was in 1975. Can you believe it? It was almost 50 years ago that I was drafted in the first round. I was the 9th pick of the nation. It was the culmination of a dream I had since I was a little boy, probably about the age of 6, when I realized that baseball was the coolest sport that I had ever played. I wanted to keep playing it. My dad asked me a question, really, when I was about 4. Said, "Hey, you want to go outside and play catch?" And I said, "Catch what?" He said, "A baseball." And from that moment forward, I fell in love with baseball. My dad taught me baseball, and here I am. Gosh, at the age of 67, still wearing a baseball uniform and playing and watching other guys play baseball.
What's the hardest part about this, or the most exciting part about getting drafted?
The best part is realizing that all the hard work you put in, all the sacrifices you made. There were many times when I missed parties. I missed maybe some different trips with friends. I grew up on the east coast of Florida, so a lot of my buddies were surfing. When I was practicing baseball, surfing was a very cool sport that was just starting back then. And also so many other people sacrificed and helped me along my journey, especially my mom and dad and my 2 sisters. My sisters, Bobby and Robin, we would go out on weekends when I would hit extra. My dad would throw. The girls would chase the balls. We'd bring out our little dog. She would chase balls down too. My mom was there. So it was a family adventure that I think we were all excited when I was drafted, but so many other people sacrificed and shared their time with me. So I think my lesson from that, and for anybody else listening, is there's many fingerprints on success. They're not just yours.
The next question is, even though your team unfortunately did not win the World Series in 2007, what was that experience like?
That was one of the best experiences I've ever had. The journey to get there was incredible. We won 21 of our last 22 games to get to the World Series. We won 13 out of our last 14 regular season games to force a play-in game. They have wild card games now, but this was a 1-game play-in with the Padres, who had we tied for the division. For the wild card spot. That game went extra innings. We won it in dramatic fashion, and then we went on to sweep the Phillies in 3 games, and then the Diamondbacks, who won our division, the NL West, in 4 games. So to win 21 out of 22, our city went crazy. Denver, Colorado went crazy. They've always been big supporters of the Broncos, the Nuggets, and the Avalanche. And truthfully, all those teams have won the big title, whether it be the Super Bowl or the NHL or the NBA championship. We had had postseason play in 95. But until then, baseball had not really landed or launched the city into a frenzy. So I think seeing the fun on the faces of so many people, to see the enjoyment on the faces of so many people, it brought so much joy to our city, the people that work there, live there, all the businesses. That was probably the best part of it.
What was the most exciting part of managing the Pittsburgh Pirates during their playoff runs?
Getting to the playoffs. If you did your history on the Pirates, there was a 20-year gap. We didn't play winning baseball for 20 years. We didn't get to a playoff opportunity for 21 years. So it was a city that had probably lost the connection with its baseball team. One of the things I had mentioned in my press conference when I was named manager was my goal, one of the goals for us was to rebond the city of Pittsburgh with its baseball team. A lot of success in hockey with the Penguins, a lot of success in football with the Steelers, but there was a gap of 20 years. Can you imagine? You girls aren't even 20 years old. Can you imagine never seeing a winning team? From the time you're like 5 to 25, you never see your baseball team have a winning season or get to the playoffs. So the best part, again, was seeing so much joy on the faces of so many people because of what we were able to do on a baseball field. And there's a term for that, ladies. It's called mudita, Mudita. It's a Buddhist term, and it means to show expressive joy for the success of others. I'll bet you two have done that with your friends, or if you're on these sport teams or something like when you really have a blast and enjoy somebody else's success, it just becomes contagious.
What helped you mentally prepare to help lead their turnaround?
Well, a really good question. I think just life experiences. I do believe we're prepared for our future through our past if we've paid attention. Sometimes I paid more attention on field activity than off the field activity. I didn't learn as quickly off the field in some areas. But on the field, as a player, I came up in a very good baseball organization called the Kansas City Royals, and we had early success. We made the playoffs. We went to the World Series. I was aware of what a good player development program is. That's the teams that run underneath the major league system, all the minor league kids that are playing and practicing to get better. And to know that it's involved with the scouts that go out and draft these players. It's your player development group that grow the players up and get them to the major league level. So I was aware of the chain of alignment and what needs to happen for people to have success in baseball. I was also blessed to work with some really smart other people in the front office. Neil Huntington, Kyle Stark, Frank Coonley, our team president. Bob Nutting owned the team, and at the time he gave us a lot of space and a lot of freedom in which to work. Also, nobody gets to the playoffs without having really good players. So you've got to have good players, and the men on those teams really worked well together. They shared and joy together, and they developed a mentality that they did not want to lose a game once it started.
The last question is, what advice would you have for kids who dream of playing or coaching in the big leagues?
Well, I'd say dream on. Follow your dream. It's got to make your heart beat. Know that it's not going to be easy, because if it was easy, everybody would be able to, fulfill their dream. It takes determination. It takes persistence. It takes resiliency. What I mean by that, there's going to be times where you don't think you're going to get to your dream, but you got to keep showing up. You got to keep taking one step at a time sometimes, and the progress may be slow, but know that even one step better today than yesterday, that's progress. A little bit better today than yesterday, that's progress. And if you really love it, it's easier to do it. And some people along the way realized they didn't really love it, what they were trying to accomplish. They thought that was a goal they wanted to go, but if it doesn't make you want to get out of bed in the morning and go do it, you may not be as passionate about it as you need to be to have that kind of success.
Thank you for coming on our podcast.
Well, I'm very honored to be on your podcast. Thank you for having me.
And that's a wrap.